28.
Okay, now we're looking at the last section of chapter 6, which is on dilations.
So 35
this is
over
where we
11.
make things
For the
bigger or
second
smaller
part, we want to
depending on the
show
scale factor.
whether these
the
are
key thing to
parallel or
remember
not.
is when the
So we
scale factor
compare
is
two
greater
things.
than
We
1,
compare
it's going to be an enlargement. When the scale
PN,
factor is in
and we also
between
look at
0
RS
and 1,
over
it's going to be a reduction. And if the
SM.
scale factor was equal to 1, it would make a congruent figure.
So again,
which
we go
I hope
this over
makes sense.
this and
If you
that
have questions
over
about
that.
that, please ask
This is
in
50
class. So if
over
I was to
90,
draw these figures
or 5
right here,
over 9. This is 40 over 72.
Alright, so in order to
those are both divisible by
do
4
with
for sure.
do a
That would
scale
make that
factor of 2,
10,
what we're going to do is multiply
not divisible by
all of the
4.
coordinates by 2. If we multiply all of those by
18.
2, it will
So
make
it's
a
5
figure
over 9.
where the lengths are twice
Okay.
as big.
Since they're both 5 over 9,
So that's what it would look like
say
here.
yes, they are parallel.
The original
That's it
one
for
is
the first
blue
one.
one.
Thanks.
The new one is the red one. What we do literally is we'd say x comma y becomes 2 times x and 2 times y. So, for example, 2, 1 would become 4, 2. And 4, 1 would become 8, 2. This would, C would become 8, negative 2. And D would become 2, negative 2. So what you do is you plot the original points. You've got 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, negative 1, and 1, negative 1. And then you plot the new ones, which are these ones right here. We go 4, 2, 8, 2, 8, negative 2, and 2, negative 2. Whoops, I'm sorry, 2, negative 2. And then you just connect the dots for each, and you get your dilation. So now we're going to do it where the scale factor is 1/2. That means all of these are going to be divided by 2. So it would be 1/2 of x and 1/2 of y. That would make this 2, negative 2. That would make this 4, 1, and this would be 4, negative 2. So again, here is the original. The new one is half. The lengths are half the length. So if you notice, we want to do two things. Sketch these two, and then we want to verify that they're similar. Remember, there's 3 ways to prove triangles similar. There's angle, which would be difficult in this case. There's side, which we could do, but we'd have to use the distance formula. And then there's side. We can see that there's a right angle here and a right angle here, so that would make side probably the best way to do this. If side wouldn't work, then I would use side, because we can count this and we can count this and see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 3. So remember, the original goes on the bottom, the new one goes on the top. So this would be 3 over 6, which would be 1/2. And then if we look, it would be 2 over 4, which would also be 1/2. So we know that DF over AC is equal to FE over BC. We know angle F and angle C are congruent, so therefore the two triangles are similar by side. So again, we know it's a reduction because the scale factor is less than 1. We use this to find all the lengths, and the graph was on the other page. We know C and F are both right angles, so those are congruent. And we want to look at the horizontal and vertical lengths like we did before. We know that one is 4 over 2, the other one's 6 over 3. Both of those are 2 over 1, so we know they're proportional, and therefore the two triangles are similar by side similarity. And for this one, we have a scale factor of 4, so we want to, and I think that's a typo there, so we want a scale factor of 4. So if we did that, there shouldn't be, there should be this right here. So if we're going, actually it should be -1. So -2, -1, multiply -2 by 4, we get -8. -1 times 4 gives me -4. -1 times 4 gives me -4. 0 times 4 gives me 0. 0 times 4 gives me 0. 0 times -1 gives me -4. So the original one is right here. The new one is right here. Sorry about the typo there. And here's another one where this time it's 0.4, so we would multiply this times 0.4, and that would give us 2. Multiply this times 0.4, that would give us a negative 2. Multiply this by 0.4, we would get 4 and negative 2. Here we would get 4 and 2. Okay, so there, our original is the bigger one, and that's the shrunk down one. Okay, pretty easy stuff. Thanks.